Can I start?
No, you're not gonna start it with a hey, yeah.
No, we're not starting with a hey.
Welcome back to the podcast, guys. I don't even know what to name it at this point. I mean, I'm so embarrassed to do this, but we keep changing our name every single episode. It goes to show this is our entrepreneur mindset in the sense that we pivot all the freaking time. And what do you think about that?
I don't think it's very good for our branding, to be honest. But hey, that's fine. We're still trying to figure ourselves. We're still earlier on. We just started our podcast. We're about 7 episodes in, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
And we've now since changed the podcast twice. This is the third time. And I have to say, it's okay. It's all right. This is probably the last time I think we're going to keep it because we were having a bit of a branding crisis. We didn't know where we were taking the podcast.
This is in direct feedback from some of our listeners. We actually have listeners, guys.
Yeah.
We have listeners.
Nate, this one's to you, mate. Nate from the Grappling Lab. Great gym, guys. Go check him out. But yeah, so he told us that he was listening to it and he actually got a lot of entrepreneurial advice and tips from it. So
you're right.
That got me thinking, like, shit. Okay, we'd probably need to rebrand again, but that's okay because I think again this is probably more us than what it was before. So proper intros. The very first, guys. This is the premiere episode of this new podcast.
Premiere.
The very first episode, guys. We're kicking off with. Welcome to the Business Diaries of Phuong and Jay. What do you think about that, Phuong?
Cue music. Do we cue music?
Cue music, Jerome. Phuong, you obviously know who's Jerome's boss. He only listens to one leader, one boss, one owner. So, but anyways, like I was saying before, you rudely interrupted me. What do you think of the new name?
I don't mind it. I like it. The Business Diaries of Phuong and Jay. And this is kind of like what Gary Vee says. If you don't know what to do or what's your topic's all about, document your journey. And, you and I, we've been on a journey for quite a number of years now. And the things that we understand the most is business. So I think it makes sense that the name should be the Business Diaries of Phuong and Jay.
So what I loved about, I love what you just said there about the Gary Vee and documenting. What I've been thinking about our business for AM Visuals is that I've seen channels out there where they basically get a videographer to film everything they do on a day-to-day basis. And surprisingly, people watch that stuff, man. People want to see what you do on a day-to-day, what your business is about, who you are behind all this professionalism and all that. They want to deal with people, right? So
what you eat, where you sleep is like
well, your interactions. You can even record a client meeting. They want to see the ins and outs of that, man. Be transparent, man.
I do question, like, how Gary Vee does the whole interview meetings with the meetings with his clients. With the ones where they pay like what $10,000 to be on the table, to be part of that table. I do wonder what they think of it and how does it change their demeanor or anything like that, being in front of a camera with the questions that they have. It's definitely interesting.
It is. I would say it would have somewhat of an effect. I mean, with us, we've been doing this thing for I think almost a year. We've been from the camera. We've been talking. So I feel somewhat bit more lax now that when the camera's on, when we're rolling. It's more like second nature now. And guys, this is actually tying really nicely into our next topic, which I'm about to mention. But then I've actually used, I guess, these presentation skills in a recent speech that I did. So if you didn't already know, Phuong actually got married over the weekend, and it was, 2 to 3 days now? He wears your ring, bro. Still not wearing his ring.
The ring doesn't fit me. Like my finger was going so red when I was like, when Abby put the ring on me. So I had to take it off. We need to get it resized. But yes, I got married.
Congratulations, guys.
Thank you very much.
A round of applause for Phuong, please. Wherever you are, in your car, in your gym, whatever, just give it a silent clap.
Cue clap music, Jerome. Where'd you go? No, but yeah, coming back to the topic of the day, like the whole fact that you and I are not very shy in front of microphones or not very shy in front of a camera. It showed so much at the wedding,
right?
Like the level of engagement of the guest at the reception, even at the ceremony, was phenomenal.
Amazing! It was amazing. It was fun, man. You had a great wedding. I must admit, one of the best wedding I've been to, and I've been to 5. Like in my speech, I said I've been to 5 weddings in the last 5 weeks, and Phuong's one by far was the best one. We had the most fun. The vibe was amazing. But yeah, man, look, congratulations on finally tying the knot. It's only been 10 years, but hey, it's all right.
Yeah.
But
I needed to be sure. Try before you buy, guys.
That's it.
Try for 10 years and buy.
Try it real good, okay?
No warranty left.
But anyways, so the first topic, guys, of this podcast, of the business diaries of Phuong and Jay, is making people laugh will make people buy into your ideas. And where this stems from is that actually I was quite inspired by a client of ours, a friend of ours. His name is Merbi Sadiq. He runs Red Pandas. We had him on his podcast, and he always says that communication's a muscle, and that he takes comedian classes not to be funny, but to be able to present better, to again to connect better, right? So I found that, and I had this epiphany, right, that if I'm able to make someone literally laugh and shit their pants, they're way more likely to be to perceive me as approachable. So in saying that,
because you make them shit their pants?
No, because you make them laugh. I think you remove that barrier, right? You remove that barrier.
Yeah.
And if you notice in my best man speech, the reason I started off with guys, I've noticed that if you want people to be engaged, you need to make sure they're involved and make sure they're involved. And then I started it off with the 3 hayas and hell yes.
Oh my god, that was beautiful.
That broke the ice. So that literally made people more comfortable with listening to me and all that.
So breaking down, what you're saying is breaking down the barrier of that filter that people have in the social arena, right? Where you can't say the things you're truly thinking is because you're afraid of people are going to be judging you, or they're going to be perceiving you as someone who is inexperienced or anything like that, right? So the fact that you made them laugh by commanding the space, by saying those hey yes, and then it made them more receptible to
the other jokes.
Correct. And I was very surprised. I was horrified first and foremost. Then I looked. By the way, just to give people some context, he did make some jokes about my my ex-partners. But anyways, I was horrified. Then I looked around. Everyone was laughing. I was like, "This is great. I love this."
I know.
So
it's called social proof, right? Like you got
social proofing.
Yeah, somewhat. I think that's a concept
What does it mean?
where basically you get buy-in from people because they see credibility or validity or things from you, right? So the way I saw it is that even though I made a really, I'd say, borderline abusive joke.
I wouldn't say abusive
or
like inappropriate.
Inappropriate, borderline inappropriate
Abusive is a bit
joke.
much, yeah.
The way you react, or the way I guess the way you deliver the joke is really what matters.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
It's the same thing in a business setting, guys. If you're pitching for a business, if you're pitching to a client or a potential customer that wants to join, for example, your gym or wants to buy into your product, you need to be able to present it in a way where it's full confidence, right? And the reason why I say you need to start with an icebreaker that's somewhat funny, right? It's not just for the audience, but also for you, right? Because obviously you don't go in there nervous as well. You come in nervous, and then by putting out something that's like, "Hey guys, fuck it, I'm nervous too, but I'm gonna break the ice real quick."
Yeah, right.
You yourself become more confident because you're getting acceptance from your crowd, right?
That's right. And it's just to counteract that, like not to counteract, but like just to flip side of the coin. Have you ever seen those speeches that start with? And I personally hate this the most. It's a pet peeve of mine. Those speeches that start with, "For those who don't know me, girl, guy, bro, I still don't know you."
Yep.
So the fact that you're saying that doesn't help the conversation at all. It reinforces it.
Correct.
Right? So it's one of those things that like still makes people uncomfortable because you're sort of bring the sentiment up in the sense that they don't know them. So why are you pointing that fact out? You know what I mean?
Not just that, but I think it's a negative thing to do, because like what you do is you try to gain credibility through them by doing that. You know what I mean? Like you say, oh, if like you're kind of explaining to them who you are. It's like, no, don't explain who you are. Get in with it. Do the punch. Do the get the buy-in, and then
They don't need to know you.
Right.
They don't need to know
No,
you.
yeah, of course. Introduce yourself at the end after they all laugh. You know what I mean?
that's
Because
right.
like you've already come in as an alpha male. You know, you make them laugh and stuff. And hey guys, thanks. Have a good night, Sydney. My name's Jay. Blah blah blah. You know.
Yeah.
And that's I think that's the best way to do it. And if you look at all the popular or the very successful comedians, no one introduces themselves. They know who they are. They don't need to explain
Exactly.
explain to you who they are, right? But yeah, anyways, so yeah, anything else about this topic that you'd like to mention?
Let's bring it back to the front here. Like, this is a business podcast first and foremost. But the one thing that I noticed, wait, are we in this topic just yet? Controversial. No, that's a later on topic. I don't have anything more to say about this, guys. Let's move on to the next topic. What do we have?
What do we have? So the next topic is a controversial one. So there are too many people doing it. It's saturated, so I won't do it.
What are they doing?
Like business in general, right? Like, I won't do it. It's too saturated. I want to open a cafe. Nah, there's too many of them doing it. I want to open a business. Nah, there's too many doing it. I'm not going to do it.
That's the one thing that you get from people who have not started a business, or who are like, or rather like haven't started a successful business, because they have this mental block in the sense that they look around, they see other business, they've done a little bit of Google search, someone's already in the front, and that stops them dead in their track. They think that their idea is useless, it's not worth it, so they go around, they get stuck in that paralysis of analysis.
And give us an example.
Binary analysis. So one of the things that, if you look around, people know sushi, right? They love sushi. Everywhere you go, sushi trains have the same meals, same food. Like, there's no sushi train out there that are not the same. But the funny thing that you see about them is that they're not just run by Japanese people. They're also run by Chinese and Koreans.
Correct.
So in a way,
and Vietnamese.
And Vietnamese as well. I've seen that done. That's a weird one too. But in a way, sushi is basically been saturated well and truly, but it's still being done.
Correct.
Right? Why? Because it's a model that works. Right, for each of those dishes, $3, you're probably making like 80% margin on top of them. Right,
damn.
Right. So
you know what's funny actually, and I just thought about this just now. It's that the way I see it, the way I talk to myself in my head, and this is what I say to myself. Right, it obviously used to be a blocker for me, a mental blocker to start a new journey. But the way I see it is that what I tell myself is that if he can get a piece of the pie. If there's a market share, like I say, 100%, right, and he has 50%, what makes me think I can't take just that 1%, right?
That's right.
Right? Because if he does it, why can't I do it? Right? And I think a lot of people think opposite. They think, if he's doing it, there's too many people doing it, I'm not going to do it, right? But you got to switch that, man. It's not about if it's already done, I can't do it. It's about how can I do it, right?
That's right. Yep. If your passion is about sushi, man, go for it. Like, who's going to stop you, bro? Like, I know a lot of people are doing it, but your passion will translate in the food that you make, and that would make your food more delicious. I know it's sort of like woo-woo way of thinking about it, but it is true. People don't buy into the business because of you. I mean, because of the business, they buy because of you.
Correct.
Right?
You're the differentiating factor. So this goes, this is the same thing for, gym owners, right? And jiu-jitsu gym owners, martial arts gym owners, construction people, mortgage people, anyone and everything, right? So this relates to you, get away from the mindset of, you can't do it or you shouldn't do it because it's saturated. It's all about getting started, guys. Once you get started, you figure it out, right? Just like this watch business right here, guys.
Oh, I am embarrassed because I'm not wearing it.
Don't worry. It's not your wedding anymore. You can't wear watches. So this is a watch business that I just started. Like I said, we're serial entrepreneurs, So yeah, I just started a watch business. I was like, you know what? I like this. I like watches. I want to become a dealer. So you know what?
Everyone's done already. It's been done. What makes you different?
There's so many dealers. What makes me different is my personality. What I do is I connect with my clients, man. When someone inquires, I don't just say, hey, look, this is a price, fuck off. Oh, excuse my French, fuck off. But what I say is, you know what? Let's get to know this guy. It's not just about the watch. Let's connect with them on a human level, right? That's what a lot of people don't do is they don't connect with people on a human level.
Side note, very segue, a good one to that. A side note to that is that, you know how you just swore and you said, excuse my French, that's okay. That's one thing that Gary Vee also says is like, actually people reproach him for that. They're like, why do you find a need to swear all the time? That's because that's your communication style. It's the most authentic way of communicating to people, right? Like when you talk to your friends, do you have any filters? Do you swear? Yes, correct. You do. So, man, don't excuse yourself.
Just next, like the videography idea that I want to do, just be yourself, man. Be transparent. The more transparent you are, the more you'll connect with like-minded people. It's just going to be an easier sell for you,
correct,
right?
Correct.
So yeah, anyways, next topic, Phuong.
But like coming back to that, man, if you guys have any ideas, just go for it. Just start. The fact that you start will differentiate yourself already from 90% of the people out there, right?
That's so true. Just
once you start, even if you fail, you will learn something from it. I'll guarantee you that. That's my personal guarantee.
Oh, one more thing too. Yeah, like Phuong said, once you get started, you kind of figure out the building blocks from there. What works, what doesn't, right? And then eventually you just keep growing. So people see the end goal all the time when they see other businesses. Or that cafe is successful. Or that real estate company is successful. Or that construction company is. But they don't see the building blocks that the owner or the sacrifice that the owner did.
That's right.
To all the errors that you made to learn, right?
All the sweat, tears, mental breakdowns, you name it.
It's a cliche, right?
Yeah.
Everyone says, "Oh, it's a road, whatever, China, Great Wall, whatever the analogy is." But yeah, man, it's just about taking that one step after another, after another. But yeah, moving on.
Second controversial topic I have for you
it's
guys.
more of a tip. A controversial topic.
You're talking about the freedom one.
Which one are you talking about? Oh shit! Yeah, sorry, my bad. Go on.
This guy's lost, man.
Yeah, a little bit.
Second, this is actually also a pet peeve of mine, right? People who think that starting a business, you'll gain freedom. Freedom from what?
Freedom?
What freedom, man? Starting a business is the most freaking arduously...
that's a big word.
Yeah.
You've been reading dictionary, Jerome. Arduously.
It's an arduous journey, guys. It's hurtful. It's like you get mental breakdowns, right? There's zero freedom in it. But why we do it? Why do business owners own businesses, and why can't they work a 9 to 5? Well, some of them actually still do work that part-time job on the side, but it's the lifestyle that they do this for. It's not because they want to gain freedom from something. It's not because they think, oh, I'm gonna get $1 million and then I can be free. Nah, man.
The stigma that comes around with bloody owning your own business, man. People just think, especially 9 to 5ers, think, oh yeah, I want to do this and I want to be free for the rest of my life and not have to work.
I was actually telling to Jerome this morning. I was like, yeah, I was home this morning. I woke up at like around 8 o'clock in the morning. I started looking around the house. I'm like, I got nothing to do.
Correct.
I want to go to work.
I get bored. Phuong, do you remember when we had a break at the start of the year, like a 1 month break or something, because there was nothing happening, right?
Yeah.
A Christmas break, and we were bored. We went on holidays. We were bored out of our minds.
Well, we were talking about business at the holiday house.
That's, like, honestly, I think, and I said this a couple of times already. Like, if you want to be good at something, you need to be obsessed about it.
You need to live it.
You need to live it. Correct, right? And the only way you're gonna get better is that if you just grind through the crap, right? Same thing with business, right? People think that, hey, look, it's gonna be all what's called rainbows and butterflies when you do business, but it's not the case, man. You could go through with a lot of crap. If anything, I say you go through a lot more stress than you would working a 9 to 5, right?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like
100%.
you're at middle of the night, 12 p.m. You're thinking about work. You're thinking about what's there to do tomorrow. What am I gonna shoot tomorrow? What if my client doesn't pay? What if my employee doesn't have? What if we don't have enough funds to pay my employee? It's a constant stress, man. It's like, well, what's next? What's next? What's next?
It's a constant stream of problem solving, and I think that's what's exciting for people who are ambitious like us. There's always a problem to be solved, and it's kind of rewarding in a sense.
It is, but for me, it's not just about the reward, but reward. It's about the fear of being trapped again in 9 to 5. I went through it for 2-4 years or something like that, and bro, it's very demoralizing. It's like to be stuck. And Jerome, this is not saying that we're different. No, we are different. But in a very corporate environment, you are literally a rat in a bloody just running a rat race, whatever. It's so demoralizing.
Well, I think you're a bit wrong in the sense that you're demeaning the 9 to 5ers.
I'm not. Okay.
Some people, like, what I like to say is when you do work for 9 to 5, you need to find a company with a vision. You need to find a manager, a boss, so someone who shares the same vision, or who are working towards something greater than themselves, right? That's when the 9 to 5 will be more meaningful than just like coming in, do the repetitive jobs, and then coming home. It's like, being a waiter. You go in and you just do your shift, you go home. That to me would be more demoralizing.
No, man. Look, honestly, I think it's like when I was saying that, it was more so for me. Like, that's the way I felt when I was in it.
Yeah, but coming back to the main point of guys, don't think that you're going to go into business or own your business or make $1 million just to be free. Freedom is something that is in your mind, right? It's just the fact that you are living what you love doing is the freedom. It's not something that you need to you need to do to get out of it, kind of thing. It's a lifestyle at the end of the day.
Another cliche or a saying that's been overused is that, do what you love and the money will come. Oh, sorry, do what you love and you'll never work a day in your life. It feels like that, doesn't it? Like, once you do what you love, it's not just about the money anymore. It's the fact that you can do what you love and you're happy about it. And it doesn't matter if you're not making that much, you're still happy doing it, right? And that's the thing. That's something I've been kind of I've discovered lately in my personal journey, in my life journey, is that it's all about the money. Before, when I was in my early 20s, it was all about the money, right? But now it's about the happiness.
Yeah.
Honestly, if you're happy, that's all that matters, right?
You know what's funny about that though? People would say like, "Oh yeah, it's easy for you to be happy. You're making bank. You're driving a Tesla. You got a business." What do you say to those people?
I say it's a loan. Loans. Loans and debt are great. Great.
That is so true, man. Like, guys,
No, but look. The reason we're able to buy stuff like that is because obviously we don't want to pay that much tax. Don't tell the tax man. But
this is a topic for another episode, definitely. Like,
yeah.
I noticed that people was like, how are you affording a Tesla?
You know what? We should get our friend, an accountant, Bonobo, onto the podcast.
From KHI Partners.
From KHI Partners.
Shout out
to Bobo. He will talk to us talk more about this kind of stuff. But yeah, guys, look, it's one of the perks. It's one of the perks of owning a business is obviously the stuff that you can buy through the business. But yeah, man. But at the same time, you may sacrifice your salary a little bit just to get that, to reduce. But anyways,
definitely it's an episode in itself. It's a very fascinating one.
Yep.
It's something that when I talk to someone about it, they're like they just
Correct.
perk up straight away. But we'll definitely put that down.
Can we note that down, Jerome, in notes, in the show notes? Write it down somewhere, Jerome. Yep, cool. All right,
so,
next topic.
How are we out for time?
Good,
We're good. Yeah. Hey, are we too fast? We're good, right? All right. So this is another topic that really, really fascinated me, and it's a conversation that you have with a potential client, right? Or that didn't go through, but the fact is, you followed up with a potential client. You called them up. They're like, "Hey, my name is Jay. I'm from AM Visuals. I'm just calling in to see how you were. We spoke a couple of weeks ago about content management to see if you wanted to do this, if you were interested in our packages." And she's like, "Oh no, we found someone already. Like, we don't really need any more." And you could tell that she was like, "Oh man, this guy just wants to sell something to me, right? Straight away." Like the tone in her voice just portrayed that. And then you're like, "Okay, cool. That's great. I'm happy that you found someone." And then you said, "Look, I know that you're doing content management and that's actually quite expensive, but here's a little tip that we've actually used, a little piece of software, and this is free of charge. You can use it. It'll make your life a lot easier." And you said, "Okay, you can use Loomly." And she goes, "Oh, okay, I'll check it out. Thank you so much for that." And the one thing that really caught my attention was like she brightened up straight away. She's like, "There's a problem in my life. This guy's giving me a solution for free, asking nothing in return." I mean, that was beautiful, that moment, that switch. And it was like, I'm just getting goosebumps thinking about it, man. So tell me a little bit about that. Like, how did you approach that conversation, and how did you feel after the fact?
So actually, this is a client that I approached. It was a warm lead that came through, and I was talking to her, and she was saying how her business needed social media and wanted production and wanted a quote and all that. And what I ended up doing is I was like, "Hey, look, you might actually not even need us. You might be able to do this by yourself if you have the time for it. Obviously, you have to sacrifice something, right? Is it money, time, or whatever?" I told her, "Hey, it's this easy. You can do this, blah, blah, blah." Down the road, I didn't hear back from her, so I thought I'd give her a quick call back. Then she said that she found someone already. I'm like, cool, whatever. And from my experience, I already know that the more value I give for free, and obviously this ties back into sales and lining things up, but I noticed that the more value I give for free, the more I'll get back in return eventually, right? And I'm not doing this to expect something in return today. I'm not doing it to expect something in return ever, maybe. But there's nothing wrong with giving things away. It makes you feel good, it makes them feel good, and eventually it could lead to a future sale. But this is something that Gary Vee preaches all the time, man. Just give value, man. Just the more value you give, the better it is, right? And I've noticed that in other clients that, hey, look, I'm just gonna give them value. I don't care. Just give it to them, and yeah, eventually it turns to a sale like automatically, right? You don't want to do anything. You're just planting the seeds. Like, hey, just have it. Just have it.
So
have
it's a
it.
genuine gift.
It is.
Right?
It is.
You don't really expect anything in return. Would you call that a strategic free value? Right? Because are you putting seeds out there to expect something in return in the long run or not at all?
No. I'm generally doing it just to give it to them.
Interesting.
And I'm helping them with their life, On top of that, the conversation ended up better. She invited me to a cafe. I'm like, yeah, cool.
That's true.
I'll come by. Why not? Just
That's
to check.
true. Like, oh man, you start off like, I don't want to talk to you because I know you're here to take my money.
But it's not about
Yeah.
that. So it was before I started doing sales properly. I've noticed that it was all about the money. It's like, hey, trying to get the sale, trying to get the sale, trying to get the sale. But times have changed, man. People are educated. People know that when you're trying to sell something down their throat, right? So I think that in general, I think we just have to all change our perception about money and about business, right? We just have to or we have to think about it as just give it out there. I mean, everyone's doing it. Everyone knows how to do it.
I would go as far to say as like, if you're gonna go into business expecting to make money first and foremost, you're in it for the wrong reason.
Yeah.
Like, business is not about that. Business is about
Yeah.
helping people solve their problem.
Correct.
Right. It's about networking, making friends, and all that stuff.
Correct. Yeah.
And you can kind of see that in content marketing these days as well. Contents are being put out there. It's honest content. People are there to give free value. They're
Correct.
here to help. They're here to have a good time, doing what they love, sharing that to everybody.
You know that saying, impact millions and you'll make millions?
Ooh,
That's a good
powerful.
one. That's a good
That's
one,
a
right?
powerful
Right?
one.
So I guess that's why Tesla, Apple, what other revolutionary companies are there out there? Tesla, Apple.
Awkward silence, great. I love it.
I think that's why they've got such a massive market share, and why they're so successful is that people buy into the idea of what they're trying to do, right? They're trying to change the world, which is why they're making the big bucks, obviously. And you should adopt that same philosophy into your business, because what you really want to do, and this probably stems from my idea, my understanding of my shift from it's all about the money to happiness, is that you want to impact them for the better. That's when you got yourself a business, a proper business, right? What you do is two things. You end up making yourself feel better, making them feel better, and also making money out of it.
That's right.
What's wrong with that?
Yeah.
Making a living out of that, right?
Honest money.
Honest money, correct. Like, you don't want to be the shifty car salesman, be like, oh yeah, this car's perfect. They drive it down the road and the tire's falling off, That's what you want to do, man. So
It's crazy how that's still there in this world. But if you want a prime example of that, go to Facebook Marketplace. It's full of them.
Yeah.
Everyone's trying to get everyone else's money.
correct.
You know what I mean? Like, these guys are not educated in business.
No, they're not. Well, that's the thing. People
Yeah.
think that the 90s way of doing sales is the way to do it. And
Yeah.
I've actually encountered someone who recently got into a sales position, and the company was like teaching them a script of how to
They had a script.
how to respond to objections. And I'm like, no, that didn't sit well with me, because the way I do my sales calls, or the way I approach clients, is that I'm trying to offer them a solution to better their business, to better their life, to better their processes, right?
Yeah.
And to know that you're using a script, how disingenuous is it when you just take away that human connection when you're having conversation to just a script?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That doesn't work. It's just. But anyways, look, that's the way they want to do their sales. It doesn't concern me. But that's all I want to say about that piece. But anyways, anything else, Phuong?
Disingenuous. I'm still thinking about that word. Is that even a word?
Ungenuous, disingenuous, not genuine. Yes, not genuine. I don't know.
Guys, leave it in the comment, in the comment section. I'm sure Jerome's gonna make a joke of out of this.
Yeah.
Like, looking at him, his mind.
Hey guys, just before we end the podcast, I want to ask you, man, how's your wedding? How did you enjoy it? What do you think? What tips and tricks would you give to people who are looking to get married very soon?
Well, guys, get rid of tradition.
Get rid of tradition.
First and foremost.
You can't say that. Some people have cultural stuff.
Yeah, but for me anyways, this is my personal tip, because it gets in the way of love. That's what I feel about it. Like people try to put things into boxes, and tradition is one of those categories that people try to put under. And you usually get like things like, you know, the rebuttal and saying like, hey, this is just my tradition. That's because you've been raised like that. You don't know any other way. You don't want to think any other way, right? The moment you get rid of tradition, get rid of the little boxes and live in the gray area, that's when things will kind of blossom. Okay. And that's what I found with my wedding. We just flipped everything on its head. We forego the cake cutting. We didn't even get a pastor to do our to marry us. We got a comedian to marry us. The wedding reception was very small. Like usually Vietnamese receptions like 300, 400 people, right? And we didn't want any of that. If I didn't talk to you for in the last year, I don't want you at my wedding. You know what I mean?
Oh, I don't know. Phuong had a lot of friends there.
Well,
if I did that, Phuong, my wedding would be 10 people big.
10 people big.
10 people big. 10 people
I
big.
love that one. But yeah, just if you're gonna get married for love, guys. Like, and all the people around you, love them first, and then you'll see the reception that you're gonna get.
Yeah, look, I'll be 100% honest with you. I was quite surprised, man. I was quite surprised at how many friends you had and how people you still keep in contact with. Because with me, like, if you're out of my immediate circle, you're out of my immediate circle. I don't. Surprisingly too, right? I'm an outgoing guy and I like to talk. I'm in sales, whatever.
And that's the funny thing about you and me. Like, you're the extrovert person.
Correct.
I'm more introverted.
And I don't keep my friends. I just, if I don't talk to you, I don't talk to you. So that's it. I'm not gonna...
Hear that, guys? Don't be his friend.
Don't be his friend.
He will leave you in the dust.
I don't know why. It's just I personally don't make the effort like you do to keep in contact with friends.
It's not an effort though.
To you.
For me, it's not an effort.
To me,
I just love having people over and talking to see what their lives is like, and you know, it's connection.
Yeah. Look, I must admit that I really, really admire your hospitality with everyone. You two, you and Abby, his wife, his now wife.
I have a wife, guys.
Yeah, the wife. But yeah, man, like very, very, very impressive to see a different take on things, and that also ties into, you know, understanding that other people have different ideologies or they see the world different from how you see it, and you can't think or you can't instill your beliefs and how you see the world into other people, because you gotta stay open, man. You gotta stay open, see how people see things, and
just love, man. Like,
love.
people enter your life. Just look at it in.
Yeah. Okay, go on.
But yeah, look, I have a strong belief that anyone that enters your life, you are there to take care of them and make their life better in any way possible, right? So, and my wedding is basically a reflection of that. And I saw everybody having fun, interacting. No one was bored. Everyone was talking to each other. Like, every single wedding tables were mingling with each other.
Yeah, it was good.
And
wedding.
We didn't even use the bingo game, man. The bingo game was so that people would interact with each other. It's like, oh, who's this guy who has this car, or who's this guy who does this? No one used it. It's crazy. But anyways,
I'm not gonna lie. I don't remember half the night. I don't know what happened half the night. I think I was that drunk. But yeah, man, it was a great wedding. Yeah. Really, 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 really good wedding. Good guys. Phuong, if there's nothing left you'd want to mention, hold your peace now. No,
guys. Look, just follow us. The name will stick. I swear the name will stick. It's called the Business Diaries of Phuong and Jay.
I like it. It's catchy. Yeah. The Business Diaries of Phuong and Jay. Phuong as in F-O-N-G and Jay as in just the letter J.
F-W-N-G, man.
No, really?
Yeah. It's Phuong, bro.
See, we changed it again. 4th time. Phuong. All right. Business Diaries of Phuong and Jay. So guys, we will be making a new TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn for the Business Diaries of Phuong and Jay, just to separate it from AM Visuals, because we don't want to flood our business account with our podcast stuff. So guys, if you are listening to this podcast and you enjoy the snippets, you enjoy the podcast, please follow us on those platforms. We'll be on Spotify, YouTube Music, Amazon, whatever, everywhere and anywhere. Check under your mattress. We'll probably be there too. But yeah, guys, really appreciate you tuning in to this episode of the Phuong and Jay, and we'll see you in the next one. Hiya!